It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the movies of May 8th, 1998, and we're finally entering the summer movie season. And we got 4 movies to look at here, including the first big blockbuster of the summer, and we're going to start with that movie here. And that is the first of 2 movies where an asteroid is about to hit the Earth, and in my opinion, the best of the 2, and that is, of course, Deep Impact.
Last summer, 2 comets were discovered that are on a collision course with Earth. The smaller comet will hit first,
We now have the details.
creating a tidal wave over 3,000 feet high. The larger comet is the size of New York City. If it can't be stopped, all life on Earth will perish. So for the past 8 months, the United States and Russia have been building the largest spaceship ever constructed, the Messiah. This is the crew that will stop the comet. To ensure our way of life goes on, a network of immense caves has been constructed. We're going to hold a national lottery. We can put 1 million people in them for 2 years. If the world does go on, it might not go on for everyone.
Be good. Be good.
Good luck to us all.
We have to go. The big one's coming up fast.
You're gonna die if you stay here.
We need the arming codes for the nukes.
No! Come on! Let's go! We've lost picture.
Messiah, this is Houston. Come in, Messiah.
How's my time?
Taking too long.
Got jammed up at 75 feet.
We're losing one.
Time! Get the hell out of there!
I want you to take the baby. I'm not taking the baby! Daddy.
Deep Impact. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, May 8th in theaters everywhere.
I mean, basically what you saw there was a condensed version of the 4-minute trailer that this movie had. Like, I had no idea this movie had a 4-minute trailer, but I remember seeing the trailer for that on the Entertainment Weekly Insider Studio Screenings video that they used to have back in the 90s. And I had no idea that was a 4-minute trailer, but that was basically a condensed version of that trailer. And I do like how the one thing that they take out of this is the fact that they assume that the reporter, played by Tay Leone, thinks that Ellie is a mistress of the Secretary of the Treasury, played by James Cromwell there. But they take that out of this trailer that I just showed you. Basically, the plot is pretty much that a comet is about to hit the Earth and cause a mass extinction. And it's a 7-mile wide comet. Pretty much has a lot of the same elements to something like Armageddon, which proved to be a much better film in terms of box office wise. But I think Deep Impact is the far superior film because A, it actually had balls to actually have this comet hit the Earth, and basically to say that we don't care, we're not going to be able to stop this thing. It's going to hit, and it's going to be spectacular to watch on the big screen, and it certainly was that. When this comet hits, it's so damn good. Like, the effects in this movie hold up after 25 years. It's amazing how well these effects hold up, and like I said, I like that the movie had balls to basically just say, yeah, we're not going to be one of those. We're going day after on this. Like, there's a good chance that most of the people that you see in this movie will not survive this, and sure enough, they do not. Most of them do not survive this, and well, that's one thing. B, I think it had a better marketing campaign than Armageddon did. Honestly, like, Deep Impact pretty much tells you everything you need to know. And it shows that there's a much better movie here than what Armageddon would eventually become. Yeah, Armageddon's going to have some good visual effects for this time period, or at least so we thought, but like I said, man, I prefer this over Armageddon any day of the week, and it's just a really good movie. You have a lot of great talent involved in here. Robert Duvall, Taya Leone, Elijah Wood, Vanessa Redgrave, Lily Sobieski you saw in there, Morgan Freeman as the president. I mean, how can you go wrong with that? Plus you have Steven Spielberg as the producer, a top producing team in Richard D. Zanuck and David Brown, Mimi Leader, who had just come off of the Peacemaker, the first DreamWorks film, and Bruce Robin, the co-writer of Ghost. I mean, so many elements there that just work so much better. And like I said, this is a far superior movie. I mean, this film feels, and it's interesting because this feels more scientifically accurate than Armageddon eventually would be, and it's just a much better movie than Armageddon is. I mean, it's just a far superior movie. It's a movie that's not afraid to go for it and basically say, we're going all in on this. We're not going to have the happy ending like Armageddon eventually had. No, we're going to show you the total chaos and destruction of what this comic can do. I mean, like I said, it takes you back to something like The Day After, and also something like Testament, which came out around the same time, was also released by Paramount. Plus, you have that great score by James Horner. James Horner is one of our great underrated composers. Rest in peace. Just great score here, and just great visuals. I really love this movie a lot. This is definitely the far superior asteroid movie of 1998. It's not even close. Like, this film was at least trying and succeeded for the most part. It's not a winner all around, and that trailer, granted, does show you, the extended trailer I was talking about, it does show you a little bit too much of the plot, but in the end, it just works out in the end. It's just the end result is a much better film, a film that isn't afraid to go there, and it just delivers a very good movie that should be seen. And it would have been cool to see this on a big screen. I would have liked to see what this Comet Impact would have looked like on a big theater screen, but then again, now that I think about it, this is 1998, and back then the theater screens were not as huge as they are now. Like, we didn't have, although we did have IMAX releases back. We did have IMAX back then, but then again, IMAX wasn't really used for like blockbusters like this as it is now. I think the first one that actually used IMAX, I could be wrong on this, but don't quote me on this. I think it was either Harry Potter or The Lord of the Rings. It was one of those two movies, but like I said, don't quote me on that. But we're still a few years away from IMAX blockbusters, but this would have been really cool to see on an IMAX screen. I would have been very interested to see what that would have been like. But like I said, Deep Impact, great movie. Definitely the better asteroid movie to come out in 1998, hands down. Definitely check it out. So, with that said, on to the next movie. Jada Pinkett Smith and Tommy Davidson in Woo.
I need someone who's impulsive.
Her name is Wu. Who? She'll burn you.
Put my fire out.
She'll soak you. You don't want to dance?
Leave a message.
And she'll leave you begging for more.
You didn't have to hit him.
Yes, I did.
No,
Jada Pinkett Smith
you didn't.
is Wu. Rated R.
I mean, I guess Wu succeeded in making Jada Pinkett look as hot as she's ever been. I mean, she's really good looking in this movie. That's the best thing I could probably say about the movie. She plays Darlene Bates, aka Darlene Wu Bates, and I think you can kind of figure out what the Wu means in her name. But she's been dumped a little bit too many times. Now this femme fatale doesn't let just any man swing with her. And when she set up on a blind date with Tommy Davidson's character, it could be love if they don't kill each other first. And you also have Foxy Brown, LL Cool J, Dwayne Martin involved in with the cameos in here. And this is directed by the same person that had two movies come out in '98, this and Madeline, but she also directed Party Girl, the movie with Parker Posey in it. And like I said, man, I think the only really thing that really stands out about this is to showcase how attractive Jada Pinkett Smith is in this movie. And I mean, she really is good looking. They succeeded in that part here. The movie itself just really doesn't have a whole lot there to really give it that spark that it needs. I mean, it's a kind of mediocre storyline. It doesn't really have a whole lot there that makes it anything unique or anything engaging. I guess the one thing that it has going for it is that you do buy into the chemistry between Smith and Davidson. But, yeah, other than that, though, it's a mostly forgettable movie. It's a film that just kind of comes and goes. You don't really remember too much about it. You see it once, it's just kind of like, whatever, man. It's just like, you see it, you never think about it afterwards, and that's kind of what happened with me. But, yeah. So that's Woo, and now on to the next movie.
Critics are raving about. For everyone who loves Little Women, everything about this movie is first rate. Two boys from the street learn what it means to be a family in Louisa May Alcott's Little Men, now available on video.
Well, I would certainly hope you've seen Little Women before you saw this, because this is literally the sequel to Little Women. Sort of. It's a loose sequel to the '94 movie Little Women, and it's written by the same person who wrote Little Women, Louisa May Alcott. And this one is Little Men, of course. This came out this centers around in 1871, where you have this guy named John Brooke who meets a homeless youth named Nate Blake in Boston. He sends him to his sister-in-law, Jo, played by Mariel Hemingway, who runs Plumfield School for Boys, and her husband Fritz, played by Chris Sarandon. Later in that, Fran Dan comes to Plumfield. Joe and Fritz allow him to stay. Thus, he soon proves to be a troublemaker. It's basically just Little Women, except instead of women, it's little boys. Like, it's really not that different compared to Little Women. It's not really that much of an engaging storyline. Like in Little Women, you got behind the characters in that movie, and you got behind their relationship and their stories that they were dealing with. Not just with the 94 version, but also the 2019 one, the Greta Gerwig one. But here, it just feels like they had to make a sequel because there's a sequel to this, and the first movie was so successful. And like I said, it's basically a loose sequel. I don't think they really tie anything to the original film pretty much. But, I mean, it's a largely forgettable movie. If you just watch the 2019 film or watch the 1994 movie, avoid this one by all means. It's not really that great of a movie to begin with. So, yeah. So anyway, that is Little Men. So let's go ahead and move on to the last movie we have here, Artemesia.
Old true story of one woman's passion that changed the face of history.
So this is basically a biography about one of the first well-known female painters, Artemesia Gentileschi. I think I'm pronouncing that right. The movie basically tells the story of her youth when she was guided and protected by her father, the painter Orazio. Her professional curiosity about the male anatomy forbidding from her eyes leads her to the knowledge of sexual pleasure, but she was also known because in 1612 she had to appear in a courtroom because her teacher was suspected of raping her, and she tried to protect him but was put in the thumbscrews. That's literally all I know about this movie. I don't know if it's any good or not. I mean, Siskel and Ebert gave it 2 thumbs up, way up, so that's something. But, yeah, other than that, though, I really don't know too much about this movie. So, I can't really say if it's any good or not. Probably might be, but I don't know for certain. But that's Artemesia. So, with that said, that's going to wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. When we meet next time, we'll be in the middle of May. We have Robert Redford and Kristen Scott Thomas in The Horse Whisperer. Warner Brothers trying to create the next Disney masterpiece and creating one of the biggest Disney ripoffs of all time in the process with Quest for Camelot. Warren Beatty's Bulworth, Plump Fiction. It's a spoof on Pulp Fiction, but not written by the Zucker brothers. So that should give you a good idea of how that's going to turn out. But we also have Clock Watchers and Lawn Dogs. So 6 movies to look at next time around. We'll delve into those on the next episode. But until then, thank you very much for watching. And if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode, and also don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to see more videos like this on this channel. So, with that said, I am off. I will see you guys next time, and until then, as always, take care.